All right, thanks, guys. We are currently 7-2 with a push in my last 10 daily best plays on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. We're also hitting at 4-2 in our last 6 board member package picks on that site as well. Link for that website is in the description section below. You do not want to miss out on that. Once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, let's go ahead and get into some Super Bowl preview. Super Bowl 54. I see a lot of places having it as Super Bowl 2020, as I think a lot of folks are getting confused with the Roman numerals. But anyway, San Francisco taking on Kansas City, 6:30 Eastern kickoff at the Hard Rock Stadium in Florida. Now, Kansas City is the 1-point favorite, total at 54. We saw a half a point fade of Kansas City and movement upward on the total. The Chiefs open 1.5 down to -1. Total open 53 up to 54. Now, 53% of the consensus are leaning toward Kansas City. Meanwhile, 69% of the consensus, they are leaning toward the over in this matchup here. Now, San Francisco, they are plus 105 on the money line. Now, of course, San Francisco, the NFC champion, they went 7-1 straight up away from home this year. They also went 6-2 against the spread in their games away from home. They scored 24 points or more in 8 out of their last 10 games. They also went 7-2 against the spread in their last 9. They have some marquee covers over the likes of Green Bay, Minnesota, and Seattle. This San Francisco squad ranks in the top 3 in scoring, top 3 in rushing. Raheem Mostert, nearly 1,000 yards rushing on the year, 12 rushing touchdowns. He's averaging over 5.6 yards per carry. Meanwhile, Raheem Mostert, he's averaging over 12 yards per reception. He can get it done out of the backfield receiving the ball as well. He's got 2 receiving touchdowns on the year. And of course, Mostert had that monster game in the NFC Championship, over 200 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. Now, don't forget about Matt Breida and Tevin Coleman. These guys really have been the go-to guys all year. These two have over 1,100 yards combined rushing between the two of them. They also have over 13 rushing touchdowns combined between the two of them as well. So do not discount Matt Breida and Tevin Coleman, as these really are the prolific, the top guys. It's just that Mostert, kind of has the hot hand or hot legs, if you will, going into the Super Bowl here. Now, San Fran, they rank at the top 5 in offensive time of possession. No surprise there. They rank in the top 5 in offensive yards per play, and they are second in rush yards away from home as well. Second in yards per play on average away from home. So these guys getting it done at home, away from home. Certainly San Francisco well deserving of being in the Super Bowl. Now, defensively, these guys are really, really stout on the defensive side of things as well. Fred Warner, that is the leading tackler for the 49ers. He's got over 120 tackles thus far in the year. Of course, Eric Armstead, double-digit sacks thus far on the year. Richard Sherman, 5 interceptions, over 11 pass breakups thus far in the year. This San Francisco defense ranks in the top 5 in points allowed, top 3 in yards allowed per play. Now, of course, San Francisco, they're playing no slouch in KC. KC goes into the Super Bowl on an 8-game winning streak. They also went 9-1 against the spread in their last 10. These guys have been making their backers money all year round, especially over the past couple of months. They have some marquee point spread covers over the likes of Tennessee, Houston, and New England. Kansas City, they rank in the top 3 in scoring, top 3 in yards per play. Patty Mahomes, he's averaging 361 yards passing per game in this postseason. He's got 8 touchdown passes thus far in his 2 playoff games and 1 rushing touchdown. Of course, that was that monster run yesterday as he was tiptoeing the sidelines and then plowing through into the end zone. Mahomes, he's thrown for over 4,500 yards on the year, 37 total touchdowns rushing and passing combined. Now, Kansas City, they are 14-4 straight up on the year, 7-1 straight up away from home, 6-2 against the spread away from home as well. So very identical numbers to San Francisco. Now, the Chiefs rank in the top 10 in points allowed defensively. You don't hear a lot of folks talking about the defense, but they do have some playmakers. The Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, he's got 4 interceptions on the year. Frank Clark, he's got 12 sacks. So this should certainly be an exciting matchup. Now, I know a lot of folks think it's going over. Just keep in mind, Kansas City is 5-3 to the under in their last 8. A lot of times these markets over adjusting with regard to their numbers. They're also 5-3 to the under away from home. Now, 2 out of San Francisco's last 3 games stayed under the number as well. And the 49ers, 5-3 to the under away from home themselves. A lot of similarities between these two teams. If you want to see who I'm picking in this game, all you got to do is go to my Patreon website and subscribe to the NFL package. I got a monster play on the sides in this one. I'm going to let you know who I think is going to win this game on my Patreon website. Once again, you got to subscribe to the NFL package play. But with regard to the total, I'm going to give you a free pick right now. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the under 54 total points in this matchup. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Let's go ahead and dive into some shout-outs real quick. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. Got to give a shout-out to Thomas Ochoa, FitLife120, Al Self-Paid, Will Skates, Isaac Bethea, Jim Tazzies, Dominic Hughes, Z-Code System, Totten DX, Robert Halstead, Damone Thompson, Jason Sanchez, Vernon Williard, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout-out to Andrew Reyes. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on patreon.com, where once again, we are 7-2 with a push in our last 10 daily best plays on that website. The daily best play is one of the packages that I offer on that site. We also have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. Now, you may be wondering, well, why would I buy a package from you when you just gave me a free pick right here on YouTube? And that's certainly a great thought. That's a great question. And that's exactly what I do here on YouTube. I give away free plays in hopes that you would at least consider checking out my website. Just consider it just a big commercial. Now, the problem with me handicapping, every single game on the board, side and total, like I normally do every day with NBA, college basketball, Major League Baseball when it comes by, is that if you were to bet your hard-earned money on every single game, side and total, you're guaranteed to lose your money in the long run. The math becomes aggressively against you the more angles and plays that you have. So what I do on Patreon is I make life a lot easier for you. I narrow it down to 3 to 4 premium picks per day. They're high percentage picks, games that I personally have action on. And I'll tell you this much, my current Patreon record is a whole lot better than it is here on YouTube, kind of just handicapping every single game on the board, throwing darts. I don't take a free pass. I won't break down a game for 5 minutes and tell you to stay away from it. We don't do stay away games. I do give you an opinion on every single game, side and total, but that is certainly no way to bet. So I implore you, do not bet your hard-earned money on every single game, side and total. Check me out on patreon.com. I will make life a lot easier for you. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on Patreon. But most importantly, guys, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. It's been an outstanding NFL season. It's been very fun. A lot of excitement. Got a lot of subscribers through this NFL season. So it was certainly great spending every week, with you breaking down the games. It's been a great year, and I certainly, look forward to this Super Bowl matchup here, Super Bowl 54. But guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, this free information all season long. Happy Monday to you. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Be safe, be happy, and I look forward to seeing you on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.